Taoiseach, I'd like to discuss the School Leavers Ability Project, creating expectations, exploring choices, supporting transitions. Initially, this School Leavers Ability Project started in 2018, and for the following 3 years it was funded by Pobble, and the last 2 years it's been funded through the Dormant Account Fund, but that funding is going to come to an end in December of this year. And there's a team, a very small team, set up in Cummas New Ross. It has 4 facilitators who have helped students who have a diagnosed disability to transition from school leaving into PLC courses, colleges, daycare services and/or employment, and both assisting the individuals and their families with an individualised service that supported each of them to make choices for their future. The team work with mainstream schools in Wexford, and they extend that out to educational schools, special educational schools in the counties of Wexford, Waterford, Kilkenny and Carlow, primarily within the CHO5 area where possible. And teachers observing their students from Wexford in the CHO5 area as well are primarily responsible for the referrals and have attested to the essential service that it's been over the past 4.5 years. As it stands, Taoiseach, the service and its team have facilitated 556 individuals, with 339 who have exited the programme successfully, taking employment or going to college, and there are 227 currently actively being supported. It was a programme, Taoiseach, that was originally meant to cater for 40 people, and that funding has not increased, even though the numbers are exponential. The policy context of the programme involves coordination of the UNCP CRPD, the Transforming Lives report of 2016, the HSE's new directions and the comprehensive employment strategy of 2015-2024. And some comments from the survey that was conducted across the stakeholders, which included individual users as well as parents and guardians and professionals such as teachers. The comments, unbelievably, they're so positive. The first one that I'll read out is, it put me in touch with employability and supported me to get work. Very helpful for discussing options in college and PLCs. Explored options after school and supported me with travel and training from one of the professionals. This allows time that teachers don't always have the resources to implement. There is a clear gap between school and adult services, and the project helps to bridge that gap. The question is, Taoiseach, at this point in time, that programme is costing 160, is funded through the Dormant Account Fund to the tune of €160,000. That's just to support Wexford. If it were to be rolled out, and it has been sent to Minister Rabbitt's office, it would cost in excess of 300,000 to roll it out throughout the CHO5 area. We did have the CEO, Bernard Gloucester, in the facility on Monday. He was impressed, and I'm sure that he will make a submission as well. But I would ask, Taoiseach, that you would support Deputy Rabbitt, or Minister Rabbitt and Minister O'Gorman to promote this.
Thank you,
surely we can't have an end to this funding. It's too special a service. Thank you.
Thanks, Deputy. I'm not familiar with the particular service or the particular programme, but from what you're telling me, it seems to be very successful and seems to be a very good one. What I'm told as well, that there is another transition pilot programme for school leavers, and that involves 20 schools in Dublin and elsewhere, looking after children over 2 years. But what I'll certainly do, Deputy, I'll take on board what you said today, and I'll speak to Minister Rabbitt about it and see if there's a way that it can be funded. Sorry, I can't give you a better answer than that, but I'm happy to follow up on it.
If the funding isn't renewed, and I think it is a 2-year programme, so what you're actually referring to is probably a similar programme, because this starts in the second last year of school, and that's where I'm greatly concerned from the point of view that there are actually people who have entered into the programme, but if the funding ceases in December, they won't be able to complete it. And if you think in essence that there has been 556 people supported through a relatively small budget and staff, that over 60% of them now are in jobs, careers that otherwise may have just entered day services and probably not been able to attain or have the confidence to attain employment. So I think we're 4 years in, 4.5 years experience. It would be an absolute crying shame if it weren't to be refunded. Now, I think we can sit down and come to terms with the extent of that funding, but I think absolutely it must be sustained where it is and maybe rolled out for the future with an increase in that, especially as the country is awash with money. I'd just like to take this opportunity to wish you all, not that we won't be working, we'll be all working very hard, but it's the last day that we meet for engagement like this, so enjoy the recess. Thank you, Ken Carter.
Much, Deputy, and you have my assurance that I'll make some inquiries about it and speak to Mr Abbott and the other relevant ministers. Often when something is funded out of dormant accounts, as we know, it's only funded for a short period of time, and then it can get picked up and funded on a more sustainable basis by another body. But not being fully across the programme, I don't want to make any commitments here, but I'll definitely follow up on it.